On this episode of In the Fight, we get an inside look at the poppy trade in Afghanistan. A provincial reconstruction team works to bring the government and its people closer together. General David Petraeus visits the Afghan-Pakistan border to see the advances in security. U.S. and Moroccan forces further their relationship during African Lion 2011. And two service members find out how small of a world it truly is. Divids presents In the Fight. With the United Nations predicting an upturn in poppy production in northern Afghanistan, NATO Channel correspondent Ruth Owen talked to farmers in the Nangarhar province about why they grow the crop and looks at ways the authorities are combating poppy cultivation.
Farmers score lines on buds of poppy. When the sap dries, it'll be harvested as raw opium, a major cash source for the insurgents. Poppy production has fallen throughout Afghanistan overall in the past year, but the UN recently predicted an upturn in the northeast of the country, like here in Nangarhar province, where insurgents have stepped up attacks after being pushed out of their southern strongholds. Although even under the Taliban regime, poppy cultivation was regarded as sinful or haram, these farmers claim they have no choice but to grow the crop, as it brings a much greater profit than traditional wheat or potato crops. On the streets of Jalalabad, Nangarhar's capital, while people condemn the growing and use of poppy, they believe that farmers often have no choice. To counter the trade in narcotics, the police in Jalalabad are conducting a series of raids on drug traffickers, while simultaneously working with village leaders to help farmers replace poppy with other crops.
लेकिन बزيادة تعداد के أو أكثر بتزين الجنين كي مقعد يدير جانج جغلوس مخامخ شوي لمقاومة مخامخ شوي لمخالفين لطرفنا تاستا بيحترم معلومات داسي مواد مخدر اقتصادي من بيدي توريزم دا علماء ودي ملكان ودي مشران ودي قومون نقدي ارتباطات زمقا أو دغا ارتباطات زمقا دير قبيلة واندي.
But these valley farmers say as long as the government doesn't build roads and schools in their areas, they'll be forced to grow poppy to make money to reach facilities further afield. In answer to schools not being built, a spokesman for the Ministry of Education told us that in the past 6 years, over $13.5 million has been spent on schools alone in Nangarhar province.
ما فکر میکنیم به خصوص دره‌ای که شما یادآوری کردین ما فکر میکنیم که یک بهانه است که مثلا بعض مردمی که دست به چنین کار میزنه یا مواد مخدر را کشت میکنه که اینا تو یک بهانه ای را بکنه، لکن وزارت معارف خدماتشان به همه نواحی کشور.
In places like Helmand, a combination of tougher police with community projects has shown to help farmers leave poppy behind. With further investment, it's hoped that these farmers can also be persuaded to give up the bud. This is Ruth Owen in Afghanistan for the NATO Channel.
It's been almost a year since the 170th Infantry began working with Afghan forces in the Shertepa district of Afghanistan. Together, they have been working diligently to deter insurgents and build a safer community for the district's citizens. Air Force Sergeant Joshua Peregrine brings us this story.
The 170th Infantry Brigade Combat Team is working with Afghan National Security, Uniformed Police, and Border Police in order to strengthen northern Afghanistan.
These are AUP, Afghan Uniformed Police soldiers that we've been partnering with and working within the SAO, making sure that the area remains safe. We're partnering with the ANSF forces, just seeing how we can better support them, any issues they have, and expanding that U.S. presence within this area.
U.S. soldiers and Afghan forces are collaborating to rid the local area of insurgents and illegal arms dealers, while at the same time giving the Afghans the confidence to stand on their own.
The partnership, it's allowing the government to, the DROA and the ANSF forces to grow and be stronger within the area and be able to sustain themselves on their own. In addition to working with the AUP, the Afghan Uniformed Police, we also work with the Afghan Border Police. We've actually kind of worked with them a bit more up to this point. Afghan Uniformed Police, they're primarily responsible for the villages, primarily in the Shertepa area, Shertepa district, the villages itself. The Border Police, their primary concern is to actually protect the border from any people moving any goods or moving from Uzbekistan into Afghanistan or from Afghanistan to Uzbekistan or other countries illegally.
The 170th is strengthening the alliance with Afghanistan in the north, while at the same time making the local area a safer place to live.
It's a pretty good feeling being able to help the local population, the Afghan population, and build a better future for the younger generation.
With this new partnership, Afghans have made huge strides in securing their border and hopefully building a more peaceful Afghanistan for their future. Air Force Sergeant Joshua Peregrine, Shertepa, Afghanistan.
The Tangi Valley has long been a Taliban stronghold until coalition and Afghan army forces pushed the enemy back and opened the valley to the government of the Islamic Republic of Afghanistan. Army Sergeant Brian Spradlin shows us how one provincial reconstruction team is working to bring the government and its people closer together.
After years of Taliban oppression, villagers deep in Erzgan's Tangi Valley are finally able to meet with coalition forces like Provincial Reconstruction Teams, or PRTs. Led by civil affairs officers like Lieutenant Patrick Blue, PRTs operate on the remote front lines of Afghanistan, interacting with locals and finding out how coalition forces and the Afghan government can help.
We can connect the people to the government, but until the government's ready to come into an area, we can do small, quick-ticket emergency items through the PRT.
Items that include providing quality-of-life improvements like water pumps or bringing medical staff out to treat villagers until the government is able to build clinics or other public works.
Hey, little man, all done. You good?
All of this is possible due to a partnership with the Australian Army's Combat Team Charlie, who, along with Afghan National Army forces, cleared the valley and now provide security for the PRT while they reach out to Tangi locals.
Development is the key, and it's good to know that we've set the platform for that to occur, and it can only go forward from here now.
The PRT's first meetings with local villagers have been positive and productive, reminding them of why their mission in Afghanistan is important.
It kind of brings meaning to what we do, seeing the smiles on their face and hearing what they say as far as, we're ready to work, we're ready to bring Jaroa in here, and we want the government, we want Jaroa.
That desire for development is what Lieutenant Blue hopes will continue spreading, pushing out the Taliban and bringing in a safe and prosperous future for the Tangi Valley. Army Sergeant Brian Spradlin, Patrol Base Carib, Afghanistan.
Hi, my name is Staff Sergeant Scott Seeger from San Andreas, California, deployed to Southwest Asia. Just like to say hi Mom, hi Willie, Grandma, Sister Laura, love you guys, I miss you.
Hi, I'm Second Lieutenant Harrell here in Copswiker, Iraq. Just wanted to say hi to my family in Round Lake, Illinois. Miss you guys and hope to see you soon. Love you.
I'm AONC Hayes, currently deployed to Ali Air Base, Iraq. I'd like to make a shout out to my dad in Indiana and my little brother and my mom in Florida. So I'll be home soon.
Hi, I'm Senior Airman April Spildy from Eielson Air Force Base, Alaska. Just wanted to give a shout out to my husband, Peter. Peter, I love you, I miss you, and I can't wait to come home.
Hi, my name is Chaplain Alicia Nogueras from the 43rd MP Brigade, Rhode Island Army National Guard, and I'd like to say hi to all my family in Pawtucket, especially my wife, Ida. God bless everyone.
Coming up, General Petraeus visits the Afghan-Pakistan border, and U.S. and Moroccan forces further their relationship during African Lion 2011. Check out dvidshub.net for the latest accurate and reliable information as In the Fight continues. Afghanistan accounts for how much of the world's opium production? The answer when we return.
I want to give a shout out to my family and friends.
I want to send a shout out to my husband,
to my parents, my family back home.
I'd like to give a shout out to my girlfriend,
to my family and friends in Lansing, Michigan,
to my family out in Tucson, Arizona,
to my beautiful wife and children in Des Moines, Iowa,
to everybody in Texas,
in York, Pennsylvania,
Colorado Springs, Colorado,
Chicago, Illinois,
Harrisonburg, Virginia,
Orlando, Florida, Oceanside, California,
and Fort Leonard Wood, Missouri.
I love you guys. I miss you, and I hope I'll see you soon.
With the new Military 24/7 app from Divots, you turn your favorite mobile device into a window to the front lines. Connect with your nation's finest men and women through our video and photography archives and stay up to date with news reported directly from service members. Quickly share information and breaking stories with friends via Facebook, Twitter, or email. News, photos, video. Your military 24/7.
Afghanistan accounts for how much of the world's opium production? The answer is D, 90%. As the commander of U.S. forces in Afghanistan and the International Security Assistance Force, General David Petraeus is responsible for ensuring a successful mission in Afghanistan. Marine Corporal Nate Carberry shows us the General's recent visit to the Afghan-Pakistan border to see firsthand the advances that are being made for Afghanistan's future.
International Security Assistance Force Commander General David Petraeus visited the Friendship Gate in Spinboldak District to observe developments made at the Afghan and Pakistani border.
Well, there's been enormous progress over the last 8 months since the last time he was here. Biometrics enrollment capabilities which add to security, huge development in the Afghan Border Police, the Customs Police, and all of our partners down here.
Bravo Troop, 1st Squadron 38th Cavalry Regiment, is part of the 525th Battlefield Surveillance Brigade deployed to Spinboldak. General Petraeus spoke about the quality of their work.
Bravo 138 in particular, the element that has partnered with the border forces right here, has done a stellar job that really, again, played a huge role in all that has been accomplished here during the course of their time as the partner unit for the Afghan Border Police.
He also added that this partnership benefits the Afghan people by creating effective security as people and supplies cross the border to bring new forms of infrastructure. Marine Corporal Nate Carberry, Spinboldak, Afghanistan.
The 95th Infantry Training Division is training the next generation of Afghan National Army officers. There are many challenges, but the instructors are determined to overcome the hurdles in their path. Air Force Sergeant Joshua Peregrine takes us to Camp Span, where an instructor talks about his journey so far.
Army Staff Sergeant Robert O'Hare spends his days teaching Afghan National Army members how to teach others. In just 8 months, Sergeant O'Hare and his unit have trained more than 4,000 ANA soldiers. It's not always easy.
One of the biggest problems that I think that we're having over here is the media footage in the United States is always negative, but you can't judge the entire mission based off of the problems of a few. I mean, there's a lot of good things done over here between all coalition forces. Everybody here has their own part, and we're all trying to create a better Afghanistan through mentoring and teaching and assisting them with teaching them the ways that we've overcome problems, and they'll do the same thing.
The goal of this training, and others like it, is to put the reins of control in Afghan hands.
I've seen them go from having many problems to doing things pretty much, I'd say, 90% on their own. It's a great advancement. We're not quite there yet. Just that by itself is a huge thing, that they're not relying on the Americans to do everything for them, that they now know how to accomplish a mission on their own accord.
For Sergeant O'Hare, teaching these NCOs means creating better soldiers. Soldiers that ultimately make Afghanistan's military stronger by the day. Air Force Sergeant Joshua Peregrine, Camp Span, Afghanistan.
As the 40th Engineer Battalion prepares to go home, a new battalion must take its place. Marine Corporal Nate Carberry shows us what the Bravo 40th was able to achieve and what obstacles must still be overcome.
During a recent transfer of authority, Bravo Company 40th Engineer Battalion out of Baumholder, Germany, passed authority over Uruzgan Province to the 87th Sapper Company out of Fort Hood, Texas. Staff Sergeant Joshua Moore says the work Bravo 40th has done in the last year makes this transition important to stability in the area.
Bravo Company's mission in Afghanistan was to neutralize explosive hazards along key routes in Uruzgan Province, provide freedom of mobility and freedom of maneuver.
The incoming 87th Sapper Company has honed their route clearance skills through work in multiple areas of operation. This ensures they make a smooth transition and maintain the security for which Bravo 40th has worked so hard.
This is the fourth move for the 87th, and each time we go into new AO, it gives us a chance to reset, get back to basics, and really improve ourselves as a team.
While route clearance missions are important to coalition forces getting supplies from base to base, the Afghan people will reap the long-term benefits.
What we bring for the coalition is freedom of maneuver throughout the AO. We're able to get from one fob to the other to accomplish the mission. But more importantly, what we do for the local populace is we help keep the roads open between the towns, between the villages, help encourage economic growth and commerce.
It was good to see the communities out here grow. There are a lot of markets that are open now that weren't open before. There are routes that weren't heavily traveled by the locals that are now heavily traveled. I believe it gives us all peace of mind knowing that we have accomplished the mission in this area and that the group that's coming after us, they're a good group of guys. They know what they're doing. They have experience also, and they're going to continue to keep the routes up here open. So it feels great to be going home. And it feels really great to be going home.
Marine Corporal Nate Carberry, Forward Operating Base Tarankout, Afghanistan.
As part of Operation New Dawn, U.S. forces are continuing to assist in the stabilization of Iraq, which has allowed new beginnings for the Iraqi people, especially for women. Army Sergeant Desiree Lau explains as she files this report.
Arabic is the native language spoken in Iraq. For some women in Basra, English is becoming a second language.
I didn't even know this opportunity existed, and I was really thankful when someone from the G9 approached me because I'm a certified English teacher in the state of Texas, and they came and asked me if I would be willing to teach a class, a conversational English class. Once I got into it and I met with the ladies, their English skills were so advanced that it grew from a conversational English class to they're learning vocabulary words. They're actually reading a novel that's like a self-help novel that will help them in any situation throughout their entire life. So this ties directly into Operation New Dawn because we're here, we're giving them the tools and the skills that they need in order to succeed. So it's all about a new beginning once we're gone. Whether I learn Arabic or not, I have learned more from these women than I could ever teach them. They have given me more than I can give them.
For USD South, 36th ID Public Affairs, I'm Sergeant Desiree Lau, Basra, Iraq.
Over 2,000 U.S. service members from the Army, Navy, and Marine Corps are participating in African Lion 2011, which provides an opportunity to further relations between U.S. and Moroccan forces. Air Force Master Sergeant John Cronin takes us to the Sahara Desert, where forces are conducting live-fire operations.
In the Saharan Desert, it's sandy and hot, which is just what Marine Corps Sergeant Alexander Gilowitz needs to train his crew for desert operations.
I'm responsible for the safe emplacement, firing, and operation of M777A1 howitzer.
African Lion is the largest annual exercise within the U.S. Africa Command. This year, over 900 reservists from around the armed forces train alongside the Moroccan military at Cap Dra in southern Morocco. The conditions are similar to what service members face when they deploy to Iraq and Afghanistan.
Morocco's not as different from Iraq as I thought it would be, just a little bit greener and a lot more rain. But we're getting good training in here to train my Marines in order to get them ready for a combat situation that they haven't been in yet.
So far, the 3rd Battalion, 14th Marines have been living and working in the desert for more than a month. For Sergeant Gilowitz, it's all part of being a United States Marine.
I wanted to join up with a group that I knew would have the best trained around me to watch my back as I watch theirs.
After hundreds of rounds are sent downrange, there are still hundreds more left to fire. For Sergeant Gilowitz and his crew, this is what they do. John Cronin, African Lion, Cap Dra, Morocco.
Hey, this is Airman First Class Damian Johnson from Aviano Air Base, deployed in Southwest Asia. Just want to say hi to my wife, my 4-day-old son. Love you guys, can't wait to get home.
Specialist Corey Yarbrough on Copper Spiker, Iraq. I want to give a shout out to my friends and family from Goodland, Kansas. I miss you guys, love you guys, and I'll see you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Senior Airman Fritz Alinci from Malmstrom Air Force Base, deployed here to Southwest Asia. I just want to give a shout out to my friends and family. See you guys soon.
Hi, my name is Captain Wayne Stratton, stationed here at Copper Spiker, Iraq, and I'd like to throw a shout out to my wife Amy and my daughters Desiree and Deidre, who live in Sterling, Colorado. Just want to tell you that I love you and I miss you and I can't wait to see you.
Coming up, 2 deployed airmen find out how small of a world it truly is. And we'll showcase some of the best photos from our service members as In the Fight, presented by Divots, continues. What animal is the official mascot of the Marines? The answer when we return.
With the new Military 24/7 app from Divots, you turn your favorite mobile device into a window to the front lines. Connect with your nation's finest men and women through our video and photography archives and stay up to date with news reported directly from service members. Quickly share information and breaking stories with friends via Facebook, Twitter, or email. News, photos, video. Your military 24/7.
What animal is the official mascot of the Marines? The answer is B, bulldog. You often hear the phrase, "It's a small world," but never has it rang truer for 2 airmen deployed to Southwest Asia. Senior Airman Michael Cowley brings us this amazing story.
Separated at childhood 25 years ago, the Doss brothers are now deployed halfway around the world on opposite sides of the base. Only fate could bring the 2 together.
Yeah, actually was going out to do a job on the side where he works on the other side of the base, and a gentleman, another senior master sergeant that I work with, he happened to see his last name.
It said, "Hey Doss, meet Doss." Well, at first I was kind of, shocked because I'd never seen anybody before with my last name.
Asked if I knew him and introduced us basically, and
We started talking, and next thing you know, we figured out we probably are related.
We grew up in the same city, and then we started talking just a little back and forth, and he finally asked me who my father was, and I just said my father's name.
We found out that we were half brothers, and the rest is history.
So I get home at 6 a.m. It's kind of hard to start a relationship with somebody that you didn't grow up with. So now it's kind of, you have to start all over and start like a friendship.
As if the Doss brothers' reunion wasn't implausible enough, they also discovered they live only a short distance away from one another in California, making the development of their relationship even more promising.
We have dinner together when we can, hang out on the weekends after he gets off of work, and play pool and just hang out, talk about future relationship that we're gonna have back home when we get home after this deployment.
It's all about fate. That's the way I look at it. Some higher power had to, even when you go down to me, coming in that morning at that time and him coming over here at that time.
It has to be fate. There's no other, I don't see any other explanation. All the things that had to have happened for us to meet, the odds of it happening, I couldn't even imagine.
From Southwest Asia, I'm Senior Airman Michael Cowley.
DVIDS is a 24/7 operation that provides a timely, accurate, and reliable connection between the media and the United States military serving worldwide. Through a network of over 200 portable satellite transmitters located around the globe and a distribution hub in Atlanta, Georgia, DVIDS makes available real-time broadcast quality video, still image, and print products, as well as immediate interview opportunities with service members, commanders, and local government officials. Everyone can visit our website at dvidshub.net and search through our enormous video and still imagery libraries. The site also features podcasts of your favorite newscasts, as well as live webcasts from the front lines. Plus, family members might be able to sneak a peek of a deployed relative in our holiday greeting section. For questions or comments about In the Fight or DVIDS, you can email us at ondemand@dvidshub.net or follow us on Twitter. As we close, we feature some of the best photos that DVIDS has to offer as we listen to Eddie Horst's composition, Pangea. See you next time, In the Fight.